When it comes to global trade and tariffs and the ongoing battle between China and the US, there is one niche industry you've probably never even considered that may well determine the future of the global economy. Magnets. No, I'm not joking. Magnets. Well, specifically super strong magnets and the rare earth minerals required to manufacture them. Oh, and now the Australian Prime Minister's involved, tossing around the idea of becoming the world's next magnet magnate.
The world needs what Australia has.
It's confusing, so let's dive in. Rare earth minerals are a group of 17 metals, mostly towards the end of the periodic table, that are used for a whole bunch of things, like phone screens, renewable energy equipment, and vitally, the super strong heat-resistant magnets required in modern cars, aircrafts, and advanced weaponry. Now, despite the name, these minerals aren't actually all that rare. In fact, they're fairly abundant. But unlike other metals, which are usually found in nice big deposits, these ones are spread out very thinly, usually appearing as trace impurities in other materials. So not only do you have to mine an absolutely massive amount of ore to get enough, it's then incredibly difficult to actually separate them out. Some rare earth minerals take more than 100 stages of processing to get them to a usable state. And traditionally, that process has required some pretty gnarly acids and other toxic chemicals. The other important thing to know about them is that China has a massive monopoly. Not only is it responsible for about 70% of all rare earth mineral mining, it controls a whopping 90% of all the processing. Part of this is just down to how cost-effective they've slowly managed to make this usually eye-wateringly expensive process, meaning that it's really hard for other countries to catch up. But the other big reason is that both the mining and the processing of rare earth minerals has wreaked some pretty devastating damage on surrounding environments and communities. While nowadays there is experimentation with greener methods, in the past that was just kind of the price you had to pay. So for decades, other countries were content to just let someone else do the dirty work for them and simply buy the finished products from China. And like, hey, who really cares if China has a monopoly on this little niche industry? It's not like the demand for super strong magnets is about to dramatically increase in a rapidly modernizing world that's now entirely reliant on advanced technology or anything. China's overwhelming market control gives them the ability to hold vital rare earth minerals hostage if another country displeases them. And would you look at that? The USA's been massively displeasing them, with Trump imposing unprecedentedly high tariffs on Chinese exports.
So, if you look at that, China, first row.
In retaliation, China created an export permit system on a number of rare earth minerals and the magnets they're used to create, effectively reducing the entire world's supply to a trickle.
如果美方置两国和国际社会的利益于不顾，执意打关税战、贸易战，中方必将奉陪到底。
And the impact was pretty immediate. When this restriction came into place in May, a Ford factory in Chicago was forced to pause their production line.
We're educating the administration, we're educating the Chinese leadership about how important these jobs in the Midwest are that are dependent. We have had to shut down factories. It's hand to mouth right now.
Both General Motors and Toyota told the White House that their suppliers were facing imminent shortages too. China has opened the valve on rare earth exports a little, including a trade agreement with the US.
We just signed with China yesterday, right? Everybody wants to make a deal and have a part of it, right? I know.
But this whole affair has really forced the world to reckon with something that they've been trying to ignore for a while now. Someone else has got to start making these bloody magnets. Wait a sec, I assume you were saying to yourself right now. Isn't Australia's whole thing that we have a bunch of valuable stuff buried in our soil? Could we maybe get in on this action? And, well, that's exactly what Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's been thinking too. See, Australia has the 4th largest deposit of rare earth minerals in the world. Still tiny compared to China, but assuming we find a way to avoid the whole, toxic chemicals leaking into the local water supply thing, we're a natural fit. Well, I mean, we would be a natural fit if we actually had any of the infrastructure to process those rare earth minerals, like, at all. When the Prime Minister occasionally trots out this Australia can be a leader in rare earth minerals idea, he likes to point to several corporate projects that are already in the works. But these are all pretty focused on just mining ore and the initial stages of refining. We have nothing to turn that mineral sludge into metal, let alone magnets. So Australian companies would probably have no choice but to sell to a third country with processing capacity. Or, probably more likely, due to how cost-effective they've managed to make everything, sell it right on back to China to finish the job. Basically, this isn't a problem that's going away anytime soon. And with the US seemingly intent on aggravating China when it comes to trade, it will no doubt start coming up more and more often. But hey, at least now you'll know what they're talking about when they mention rare earth minerals on the news.